What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video, a brief recap of all the games that took place this past weekend in the quarterfinals. Obviously, we now got it. We've got England versus New Zealand and Wales versus South Africa this weekend in the semi-finals. The World Cup is almost over. Sooner or later, we're going to find out who is going to be the new world champion of rugby. Will it be a Northern Hemisphere team for the very second time, or will we see the Southern take it once again? There's a lot of talk of favourites obviously being New Zealand. Can never count out England. Wales have had an amazing year of outstanding rugby. I mean, obviously, we'll talk about the French game in a bit, but I mean, they've really done well to get to where they are, and deserving semi-finalists as well as my country, South Africa. Very proud South African right now. Obviously, we didn't have the greatest of games against Japan, but we pulled it through. We came back in the end and got the all-important victory, which was what was needed. So for that, I am very proud of the team. Obviously, I recapped in more detail those two games, New Zealand and Ireland, and South Africa and Japan. But today I want to talk about Wales and France, and obviously England and Australia. We kicked off with England and Australia, and it was a great game, I thought. I mean, I just felt Australia lost this one for them. They had every opportunity. They looked strong in certain aspects, but they couldn't capitalize on points. They couldn't take the momentum forward. And England just capitalized. I mean, England first team obviously through to the semi-finals. 4 tries for England, 2 for May. Farrell lands 8 kicks out of 8, which is outstanding. I mean, he was kicking on form, and they weren't easy kicks. Which I thought was absolutely outstanding. He had a solid game, and he's going to be such a key player for England going into this game. He scored 20 points for them, and what a motivation for England going into this big contest against the world number 1 in New Zealand. I mean, brilliant stuff. For Australia, I thought Kurtley Beale had a good game. Karevi was solid also in certain aspects. But it just unfortunately didn't have it all to go the extra way. I mean, if we look at the stats of the game, I mean, territory, Australia had 62% of it. Possession, 64%. First half, 60%. So Australia had it. They had the opportunities, but just sadly couldn't go the extra mile. If we look at set pieces quickly, 8 out of 9 scrums won for England. 8 out of 9 lineouts won for England. Australia, 7 out of 7, didn't lose one, and then just lost the one scrum. Lineouts didn't lose, and then just lost the one scrum. Discipline was a problem for England. They gave away 8 penalties, which was not great. 5 conceded for the All Blacks, but luckily no cards in this game. Defence-wise, 90% tackle ratio for England and 87 for Australia, which is not bad at all. So good to see that. Meters carried, 578 for Australia, 275 for England, which is pretty impressive. They really looked, pretty impressive from Australia, but it just showed they had the ball and territory. They just couldn't capitalize. So it's frustrating. Obviously, the big news coming from this game was Michael Cheika has now resigned as Australian coach. I felt for him a bit in the press conference. He looked very emotional. He was upset. He just knew game plans didn't work, and they didn't. England just dominated in the aspects that they needed to. They got the necessary points. I mean, it's sad. 40-16, you don't really expect in a semi-final, quarter-final, but they did it. I mean, Kyle Sinclair and Anthony Watson, other blokes getting over the try line. Like I said, Owen Farrell had a great game as well. So well done to England. Congratulations on getting to that all-important semi-final. Probably going to be an absolutely incredible contest between England and New Zealand. Everyone was asking me in the streams, Gareth, who do you predict, England or New Zealand? And I honestly I'm not quite sure yet. I mean, obviously New Zealand going to go in as favourites. They've got the history of the World Cup. And all that momentum with them, but don't count out England. I mean, they've won the World Cup before too. They know what it's like. They know the pressure. So it's going to be epic, but we'll get into that later in the week when I go into more detail of the preview for the game. But other than that, congratulations, England. Well done. Back to second in the world. and brilliant performance from them. Halftime score was 79, so intense stuff, but then England just walked it in the second half. So congratulations to England. Now we look at the other game. A lot of talk about this one. It is quite intense. 20-19 was the scoreline. Try in the 74th minute. A lot of talk, was it a forward pass or not? I thought it was quite solid, so I didn't have a problem with that. But France really showed up. They came to play, and they say the better team lost. I think that's a saying that's been going around. And Warren Gatlin said that, so don't rip my head off. Coach actually said something like that too. France looked good. They looked sharp. They really took on the momentum in the start. Went for every opportunity they could get. But then, unfortunately, the red card. I mean, probably one of the dumbest moves I think I've seen in this tournament to yet. Firstly, he was high, and then he still goes and elbows the bloke in the head. I mean, unnecessary, stupid. Why you do that in a quarterfinal? You lost the game for France, and it's heartbreaking, especially when they looked good. They looked like they could actually uh, prove a point here and actually save this game for now, but it just wasn't it. Wales didn't look too hot either. I mean, they didn't look good in the first half. They came back a bit in the second half. Defense both ways was average at times, but not too bad. But I mean, France overall 6 minutes from time after being reduced to 14 men. I mean, crikey, the way they held on with those 14 men, I thought was quite impressive, and for that I give them credit. But you can't do that. You just can't elbow a bloke in the head. And I mean, I can't see anyone defending him, and I'll be surprised if there are people who do defend him, because that was just crazy stuff, and it's sad to end your tournament like that. Dan Beggar scored the most points of the game, getting 10. Um, so not bad from him, but he'll want to improve on that. If we look at set pieces, 100% for Wales, which is brilliant for them. 4 out of 4 scrums, 11 out of 11 lineouts, but France too, 4 out of 4 scrums, 13 out of 13 lineouts. So solid set piece performances from both teams. Discipline, this is what cost France. 6 penalties conceded for Wales, but 8 for France. We saw yellow cards also from Wales. So not only did France get disciplinary errors, but so did Wales. 1 yellow card, 1 red card. I mean, the tackling percentage, 85% for Wales, 86 for France. That's not too bad. Jakub Pope is the ref of the game. I thought he had his moments, but it wasn't the greatest game for him. He's now in big trouble because he was taking photos with some Welsh supporters doing this with them, which I don't think was the smartest move. I mean, I get the banter and a little bit of a go at the player who was silly in the first place, but it's just silly doing that back. I mean, you're a well professional referee. You should be more matured enough not to do that. So I don't agree with the fact that he did that. It's a silly mistake, especially when he's got a potential final. If South Africa loses to Wales, he could take the final. And now, being silly like that, I don't think New Zealand or England will want to ref like that. And I don't think Wales will be too impressed either. I mean, yeah, it was a good giggle, but stupid. You don't do that kind of stuff, especially when you're world class like that. So overall, not the prettiest of games. Wales will definitely want to shake things up a bit as they go into South Africa and put the momentum forward towards us. I think it's going to be an incredible game. Last few meetings, Wales has dominated South Africa. We last beat them in the 2015 Rugby World Cup. So it's been 4 years since South Africa beat Wales. So a lot of pressure riding on us. And I think I think the bookies will be probably going for Wales in this one. But don't count out South Africa. We'll definitely come and give her a fight. But it's going to be a cracking game, one thing's for sure. But again, I will preview that in the week. But well done to Wales. You got through, but you got through in the end. This halftime score, 10-19 to France. Just shows how things change around, eh? Just shows how things change around. So, yeah, hard luck to France. Silly red card, which cost you. But other than that, well done, Wales. We'll see you in the semi-finals. That's going to do it for the recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. There's so much more content coming out this week. We might be approaching the end of the tournament, but I'm not going anywhere. So hit that subscribe button. Join the G Nation, and I'll see you guys real soon for another one. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.